The masquerade of the soul, the curtain between worlds, a capturing moment that will never exist again. I would like to invite a fair warning, as the visuals shown later in this video may upset some viewers, as every culture is not perceived as our own. In the Western world, death is understandably joyless. One wouldn't combine thoughts of celebration, dancing, or laughter. After a brief gathering of mourning, we quickly continue on with our busy lives, yet often cling on to a weight of sadness and confusion, which never seems to lift. Death can be welcomed fearlessly. Imagine if a loved one's funeral wouldn't be the last time you would see them. What if you continue to see them every year? It may sound a bit far-fetched, or even a bit morbid and scary, yet there are still those who practice ancient rituals such as this and more. Let us take a look into the fascinating Torajan people who mummify the bodies of the deceased and care for them as though they are still living. Indigenous to the mountainous region of Indonesia, South Sulawesi, live the Torajan people. The area is tropical, experiencing high temperatures and near daily rainfall. Toraja is a word which comes from Bujanese and means the men from above, fitting for a region where death is not a farewell, but a lifelong task. The modern world has mixed with ancient tradition. Torajans learn from a very young age to accept death as a part of life's journey. When a family member passes away, they follow Aluk-Tudolo, or Way of the Ancestors. The Torajan universe is divided into 3 parts, each with its own cardinal direction and rites. Number 1, the underworld, in the southwest. 2, Earth, and 3, the upper world, located to the northeast, the home of the ancestors. According to tradition, the dead should be properly sent off to a land called Puya, the land of the dead. They must be given enough attention and care to send them to the upper world, including costly yet necessary funeral rites. The souls unfortunate enough not to find their way to Puya, or those without funerals, become Bombos, or spirits who haunt and threaten the living. This is why they take such great care to be sure this does not happen, and give a proper Rambu Solo, or funeral. The term Rambu Solo translates to smoke or light down. Therefore, this ritual is performed at sunset. It is considered the Great Farewell. Just as their universe, Torajan funerals take place in 3 parts: care of the body, the funeral itself, and the burial. All of this is not completed quickly. Caring of the body can take anywhere from months to decades, as a family saves up enough money for a proper send-off. Until then, the deceased are considered weak or sick, and believed to still eat and sleep. Loved ones will visit, socialize, pray, feed, and even smoke cigarettes with the dead. This all may sound a bit taboo, but one cannot deny the love, care, loyalty, and gratitude of the Torajan people. The skin of the deceased is preserved from decaying and rotting, which begins within days of death, by a coating of formaldehyde in water. The stench becomes so strong, the family will store dried plants beside the body to mask the odor, eventually creating a musky and very earthy smell. For the community, a well-preserved body brings good fortune, so families ensure their dead remain in the best possible shape. Torajan homes, or tonkanen, are strikingly unique with their saddle-shaped roofs, resembling the boats in which their ancestors sailed up the Sudan River. Life and death rituals of all sorts are completed in these homes of the ancestors. The last breath of the first sacrificial water buffalo, killed during the Rambu Solo ceremony, marks the official death of a sick person. The more buffalo sacrificed, the faster the soul will be reincarnated. This is why the body must be facing south when the buffalo dies, so they can travel together into the afterlife. These elaborate funerals will be the most expensive celebration in all of life. Some may even say that the Torajan people live to die. Funerals cost more than $50,000 USD for lower financial households and between $250,000 to $500,000 for the upper class. According to archaeological research, this way of life dates back 900 years. 24 is the suggested number of sacrificial buffaloes for middle-class funerals. After the sacrifice, the meat is cooked up and given to family and friends to feast. The buffalo's horns are kept and displayed on the tonkanen as a symbol of wealth and status. After the 3 to 5 day celebration of Rambu Solo, the deceased are buried in a mausoleum or stone grave. However, this will not be the last time they see the light of day. In the past, babies and infants before teething were buried in hollowed-out sections of living trees, reclaimed by nature and believed to grow with the tree. There are 3 methods of burial. The coffin may be laid in a cave, carved boulder grave, or hung on a cliff. The grave will contain any possessions that the deceased will need in the afterlife. The wealthy are often buried in a stone grave carved out of a rocky cliff. The grave is usually expensive and takes a few months to complete. In addition to the tombs themselves, long balconies are carved into the solid rock. Along the balconies are placed the wooden dolls called tau. The hand-carved bamboo effigies are about half life-size or a little bigger. They are dressed in clothes, jewelry, and even hair of the deceased. The arms of the statues are always outstretched, welcoming the descendants and others who come to visit. They also guard the tomb and look out from this world into the next. Originally, the tau weren't intended to be exact representations of the dead, but the current trend is to make them look more like the dearly departed. The Torajans believe that the dead can take their wealth with them into the afterlife. One reason why they bury the coffins in high places is to protect the buried treasure from thieves. Tourists are welcome to visit the dark burial caves alongside lantern light and a tour guide. Before entering the cave, human bones may be scattered here and there. These bones fell from a cliff-hanging coffin that broke off over time. The fallen skulls and bones once again may be placed in a new coffin. However, expensive ceremonies would have to be performed once again. Every 1 to 3 years, there is a gathering called Manene when the dead are taken out of their coffins. They are cleaned, debugged, and given a new set of clothes. Relatives from far and wide come to socialize and honor the new and old life of the deceased. Children sometimes first meet their grandparents or great-grandparents from the grave. It is normal to take selfies with the dead, or smoke a cigarette with your great-granddad. A well-preserved body is seen as a blessing and good fortune. This unique celebration of life usually begins at the end of August. This way they take the good luck into harvest season. Manene isn't about death. It is a celebration of love and life that goes on beyond mortality. The tradition of the festival comes hundreds of years ago from a hunter named Pongramesek, who is believed to have started this ritual. He was seeking animals and found a dead body in disturbing condition. He took the body, cleaned it, put clothes on it, and buried it. After doing so, miracles started happening. He believed that the dead should be respected and passed on this ritual to be performed every year before harvest. In the modern world, we hold wakes, funerals, and celebration parties for the dead. We mourn them, visit their graves, and upkeep them. It wasn't so long ago when post-mortem photography became popular in the Victorian era after film cameras hit the scene. In a way, perhaps we have practiced the spirit of Manene ourselves. I hope you enjoyed this one, as I did immensely. Until the next one, stay safe, and despite the world around us, I wish you the very happiest and healthiest of New Year's. If you like what you see here, please like and subscribe, as it really helps out the channel. See you soon!